My name is Raymond. I first visited the National Gallery of Art in D.C. when I was about the age of most who will be viewing this slideshow. Strolling around the galleries, I eventually entered a room filled with Rembrandts. I was totally awestruck, had never felt the way that I did in the presence of any other artist's work. It was unforgettable. What follows will be a glimpse into Rembrandt's use of tonality and contrast as viewed in selected works. I chose this topic for my research presentation because I am always looking to use tonality and contrast in my artwork. I chose Rembrandt because he is masterful in its use. Rembrandt lived in the Netherlands between 1606 and 1669. He studied under Peter Lastman, who introduced him to the work of Caravaggio. Rembrandt established himself as a history and portrait painter. His ability to convey feeling through expressive gestures and the dramatic contrasts of light and dark were key to his success. Rembrandt's use of light and shade is striking. It conceals, it reveals, it creates a sense of physical presence, it creates beauty. Rembrandt's subject matter was diverse, as you can see from the list presented on this slide. In this composition, the lighter background tone moves the subject to the forefront, creating a more intimate view. The lighting is from above right. The shadows on the subject's face suggest her mood. This is not a portrait of an idealized woman. Rather, it shows her like she really is at that moment. Here the figure is brought forward toward the viewer and situated firmly because of the darker elements that surround her body. The drawing is done loosely and quickly. The body positioning suggests that she is about to get up quickly, as if she is reacting to an unexpected intrusion and wants to cover up. This 1630 portrait is of Rembrandt's father, who died on April 27, 1630. Think about the feelings Rembrandt must have had as he executed this portrait in one sitting. This portrait differs from the previous one. Here the figure is brought to the foreground by contrasting it with a light tone that occupies most of the background. There is just a hint of hair and cloth on the subject's right to separate it from the background. In this study for the oil painting, the figure appears to be climbing. The dark tones under her body solidify it. Rembrandt had 3 albums full of landscapes, all drawn from nature, a relatively new practice at that time. Rembrandt recognized the value of understatement and was able to convey much with an economy of means. Just a few strokes suffice to render a city profile and foreground objects in this work. This is the most celebrated of Rembrandt's landscapes. The silhouetting of the trees in the sweeping view provide a foil for the impending drama of the elements that dominate the scene. Rembrandt did several animal drawings. This elephant is my favorite. His loosely drawn contour lines, tone, and contrast bring the animal to life. Rembrandt often drew scenes from daily life. The balance of dark and light tones in this image and that short figure in the foreground unify the scene. Here, changing height and tonality establish foreground, middle ground, and background. The mood of this sitter is established using deep tones under the hat that sweep across his eyes, capturing the emotional and psychological character of the subject. Here a farmhouse is engulfed by dark tones of the trees and shadows to establish the middle ground of the picture. The rest of the image is almost entirely blank, yet the foreground and background are clearly defined. And finally, here are my sources.